Breaking news on Good Morning America First Look. A major breakthrough for peace in Gaza. Israel and Hamas take a historic step towards ending the war, reaching an agreement to bring home hostages held for more than 2 years. What President Trump is saying about the deal and what comes next for the war-torn region.
Also breaking overnight, National Guard troops deployed in Illinois. Local officials calling the move unconstitutional, as Trump says the governor and mayor should be in jail. The legal battle set to take place in court today.
Day 9 of the government shutdown, lawmakers clashing on Capitol Hill as the political stalemate drags on. Major airports still affected, what it means for travelers across the country.
Plus, health alert, the new ban in California aimed at helping students.
Still working 9 to 5. The new update from Dolly Parton after her sister sparked health concerns.
Rolling Stone ranks the greatest songs of the 21st century. We bet you can't guess number 1.
And blast from the past, the precious item found after being lost more than 40 years ago.
From ABC News, this is Good Morning America First Look.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Victor Oquendo.
Good Thursday morning to you. It's good to be with you. I'm Morgan Norwood. We begin with that major breakthrough in the Middle East. President Trump was the first to announce that Israel and Hamas have agreed to the first phase of a deal that could lead to the end of the war in Gaza.
Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu meeting with his security cabinet to approve the deal. If all goes well, the fighting will stop, humanitarian aid will pour into Gaza, and the remaining hostages will be home in a matter of days. This morning, after 2 years, a major step towards ending the war in Gaza after President Trump announced that Hamas and Israel have agreed to the first phase of a peace plan.
The world has come together around this deal, and that's something I would say that without that wouldn't happen.
As part of the deal, Israel will partially withdraw its forces in Gaza in exchange for Hamas releasing the remaining hostages, 20 of whom are believed to still be alive.
We think they'll all be coming back on Monday.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu saying, "I thank President Trump and his team from the bottom of my heart for their commitment to this sacred mission of freeing our hostages." Hamas releasing a statement saying that it will not abandon our people's national rights until freedom, independence, and self-determination are achieved. In Tel Aviv, former hostages and the families of those still in captivity were seen celebrating in the streets. And in Washington, relatives who traveled to mark the 2-year anniversary of October 7th thanked President Trump for his efforts.
We trust you fulfill the mission until every hostage, every 48 of the hostages are home. Thank you so much.
Politicians on both sides of the aisle also crediting Trump, who helped broker the deal with mediators from Qatar, Egypt, and Turkey.
It's the first opportunity for enduring peace. I don't care what the politics are.
Speaker Mike Johnson calling it a deal that only President Trump could have delivered. Experts say the landmark deal could bring peace to the region, but crucial details still need to be discussed.
Making a deal and implementing it, will be a challenge. But cautious optimism.
Netanyahu said that Israel won't end the war unless Hamas disarms, a condition Hamas has firmly rejected. Neither side has mentioned disarmament since peace talks began. But now much-needed humanitarian aid will be allowed into Gaza, though the full extent and timeline of aid distribution remains unclear. Experts saying that even if the agreement does lead to a ceasefire, rebuilding Gaza may be an even greater challenge.
Security is an issue. There's no any kind of police or fire or water. All these things need to be reconstituted. That gets to who pays for it. The hundreds of billions of dollars it will take to make Gaza a functioning city again.
And President Trump suggested yesterday he could travel to the region this weekend.
Well, all parties, including Hamas, are thanking President Trump for his efforts to secure a long-awaited ceasefire. As word of the deal spreads, explosions were still lighting up the skies over Gaza. ABC's Marcus Moore is in Tel Aviv.
Hi, Morgan and Victor. There was a very swift reaction to the news overnight, including Qatari officials who confirmed that all of the sides had agreed on implementing the first phase of President Trump's 20-point plan. And as news of this spread, our team in Gaza reported that heavy bombardments continued in Gaza City. So, Victor and Morgan, this is still not over for so many families in the midst of this war. That's
Marcus, thank you. Here in the States, a new legal battle is brewing as Democrats push back against President Trump's decision to deploy National Guard troops in several major cities. Hundreds of protesters marched in Chicago overnight as guardsmen reported for duty. The troops are now working under federal orders, which allows them to deploy for up to 60 days. Nicole D'Antonio has the details. Good morning, Nicole.
Victor, good morning. Officials say a small number of National Guard troops have started protecting federal property in the Chicago area, and it comes as legal efforts to stop the deployments are set to play out in court. This morning, 500 National Guard troops are on the ground in the Chicago area, tasked with protecting federal facilities on the order of President Trump. It comes despite fierce opposition from local leaders and residents who took to the streets in protest overnight.
No Trump, no ICE, no troops!
No Trump, no ICE, no troops! I can't believe I have to say troop movements in a city in the United States, but that is what we're talking about.
Illinois' governor, attorney general, and Chicago's mayor have all called Trump's move unconstitutional. Trump taking to social media in response, writing, quote, Chicago mayor should be in jail for failing to protect ICE officers. Governor Pritzker also. The governor firing back.
He's demented, literally, unhinged. And this is somebody who's so insecure that he lashes out pretending that he can come arrest people for no reason at all.
One judge who will weigh in on the legality of the Chicago deployment later today, telling the administration earlier this week, if I was the government, I would strongly consider taking a pause on this. Despite the warning, Trump pushed ahead with the deployment and threatened to invoke the Insurrection Act, which was last used during the LA riots in the 90s.
If I had to enact it, I'd do that. If people were being killed and courts were holding us up, or governors or mayors were holding us up, sure, I'd do that.
For now, the guardsmen are expected to provide additional security at the Broadview ICE Processing Center, where alleged inhumane conditions have sparked protest. And Trump has also tried to deploy guardsmen in Portland against Oregon's wishes. Later today, judges there and in Illinois are expected to decide if the troops can stay. Morgan.
All eyes on that decision. Nicole, thank you. Well, it's day 9 of the government shutdown, and the ripple effect is forcing the FAA to delay flights at some of the nation's busiest airports, including Newark and Reagan National outside Washington. Air traffic controllers are not being paid, and some are calling out sick. Meanwhile, tensions are rising on Capitol Hill, lawmakers confronting each other, including 2 New York House members, Democrat Hakeem Jeffries and Republican Mike Lawler.
Why did you vote to shut it down?
Let me ask you a question.
For years, you always lectured about how we need to keep the government open.
You're making a show of this to make yourself relevant.
It's sad. You could easily sign on to this.
You're embarrassing yourself right now. Why don't you just keep your mouth shut? Oh, because you showed up.
Is that the way to talk?
You showed up.
House Speaker Mike Johnson also facing off with Arizona's Democratic senators. The senators accusing the speaker of not swearing in a new Democratic representative from their state because her signature would trigger a House vote on releasing files linked directly to Jeffrey Epstein.
The last escaped inmate from a New Orleans jail is back behind bars, and authorities expect more arrests of people who helped him stay free for 5 months. ABC's Faith Abube has the details.
5 months after a brazen jailbreak in New Orleans, a convicted double murderer now captured at this home in Atlanta, ending a multi-state manhunt. SWAT teams surrounding 28-year-old Derek Groves, the last of 10 escapees, a tip leading to an hours-long standoff.
We deployed a number of canisters of gas to help move him throughout the house.
A police canine finding the murderer in a makeshift crawl space, according to officials. This was the dramatic scene back in May. Stunning surveillance video showing those 10 inmates escaping. Officials say they opened a faulty cell door, ripped a toilet off the wall, squeezed through a gap, and left this taunting message scribbled above the hole. Too easy. Authorities grateful no one was hurt.
Faith Abube, ABC News, Atlanta, Georgia.
And our thanks to Faith, Groves will be transferred to a Louisiana facility to face further charges. Next now, a 29-year-old man who prosecutors say is responsible for January's Palisades fire in Los Angeles is now in custody. 12 people died in the fire, which destroyed more than 6,800 homes and businesses. Authorities arrested Jonathan Rinderknecht in Florida. They say he set a fire on January 1st that was never fully extinguished. It smoldered underground, then reignited days later amid strong winds. Prosecutors say phone data places him at the scene. He faces up to 20 years in prison.
Now let's check your Thursday morning weather.
Good morning, and it's a chilly morning across the Northeast. All of the 80-degree temperatures of the summer warmth replaced with 30s and 40s and frost and freeze alerts. And we'll have another chilly morning. They'll go into Friday morning. Meanwhile, middle of the country starting to warm up. Moisture in the southwest. Tropical storm Priscilla will add to that. A couple showers Pacific Northwest. Confidence growing for an impactful coastal storm. This could arrive into the Northeast over the weekend with powerful winds, beach erosion, and some heavy rain as well. Meanwhile, Jerry will skirt the Leeward Islands today. Maybe go start Cat 1 hurricane, then out to sea. That's your forecast. I'm ABC News meteorologist Lee Goldberg.
Coming up, the 82-year-old woman who survived a bear attack.
Also ahead, an historic ban on certain school cafeteria foods in California and the backlash.
And later, Rolling Stone names the greatest songs of the 21st century. What you won't guess, which is number one.
We're back now with a dangerous surprise for an elderly woman in northern Japan. Look at that. The 82-year-old was nearly knocked down by a bear while she was out taking a walk. Reports say she managed to escape with just cuts to her face.
Wow, so glad she's okay. Well, we turn now to newly released video of Monday's chopper crash in Sacramento. A dash cam captured it smashing onto Highway 50. You can see people then running towards it to help. Another video shows bystanders frantically lifting the medical helicopter, trying to free the people on board. All three are still in critical condition this morning. The cause is under investigation.
California is now the first state to ban ultra-processed foods in schools. Supporters call it a win for health, but opponents say it could drive up costs. Here's ABC's Andrea Fujii.
This morning, a first-in-the-nation effort to help get school children healthy. On Wednesday, California Governor Gavin Newsom signing a bill that will phase out certain ultra-processed food from school meals.
We're raising the future leaders, and we should be feeding them things that are not harming them.
Experts say the legislation includes the first science-backed legal definition of ultra-processed foods, and the law requires any food under this new definition to be banned from schools starting in 2035. An agency that represents major food manufacturers opposing the legislation, saying some companies may not be able to adjust all of their recipes to meet the new requirements, and warning that changes could drive up prices. According to the CDC, kids get nearly 2/3 of their calories from ultra-processed foods, which have been linked to obesity, diabetes, and heart disease. But moving away from ultra-processed foods can be expensive, and as of now, there's no money attached to the bill.
It's more expensive to get healthy fruits and vegetables into schools.
Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has referred to ultra-processed foods as poison and has said that the FDA would establish a federal definition by the end of this year. That would allow the Trump administration to address concerns with the foods nationwide.
Legislatures nationwide have recently introduced more than 100 bills hoping to ban or require labeling of chemicals that make up some ultra-processed foods. Victor, Morgan.
All right, Andrea, thank you. Well, coming up, a change at one of the world's most famous tourist sites.
Also ahead, the health update from Dolly Parton, the queen of country setting the record straight amid concerns about her health. Back now with a secret of ancient Rome, now open to the public. A passage in the famed Colosseum used by emperors to enter the arena is now accessible to the public. The so-called Commodus Passage let the emperor walk in without mixing in with the general public, and it's named after the emperor featured in the 2000 Hollywood hit Gladiator. Very cool. And about 3 miles away at the Vatican, the American Pope Leo met with school kids from his hometown of Chicago. And at one point, let's watch this, Leo briefly switching hats with the youngster. That youngster, he was elected Pope during the school's mock conclave in May.
Very sweet.
That is awesome.
All right, well, turning now to Dolly Parton, the queen of country is reassuring fans that she is just fine and doing it, of course, with that signature wit after a post from her sister had people worried about her health.
I wanted you to know that I'm not dying.
This morning, Dolly Parton is setting the record straight in a way only she could.
I know lately everybody thinks that I am sicker than I am. Do I look sick to you? I'm working hard here. Anyway, I wanted to put everybody's mind at ease.
According to a source close to the situation, Dolly's been dealing with kidney stones, hard pebble-like materials that can cause urinary pain.
Nothing major, but I did have to cancel some things so I could be closer to home.
Concerns about Dolly's health intensified this week after the singer's younger sister Frida posted to Facebook asking fans to join her in praying for Dolly. But she later clarified, saying, "I didn't mean to scare anyone or make it sound so serious. She's been a little under the weather. It was nothing more than a little sister asking for prayers for her big sister."
Jolene, 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 Jolene.
The Grammy-winning performer says her health started to take a turn earlier this year after the passing of her husband of nearly 60 years.
When he passed, I didn't take care of myself. Working 9 to 5.
The 79-year-old promising fans she's got no plans to quit.
I'm not ready to die yet. I don't think God is through with me, and I ain't done working. So I love you for caring, and keep praying for me.
We certainly will. A few weeks ago, Dolly moved her Las Vegas residency from December to next September, citing health issues.
Glad she's okay. Coming up, the song just named the greatest of the 21st century.
Plus, the heirloom returned to its owner after being lost nearly half a century ago.
Time now to check the pulse, beginning with the top tunes of the last 25 years.
Yeah, Rolling Stone just released its list of the 250 greatest songs of the 21st century so far. Beyonce's Crazy in Love coming in at number 3, Maps by the Yeah Yeah Yes in second place. And coming in at number 1, well, take a listen.
Get your freak on, get your freak on, get your freak on, get your freak on, get your freak on.
Missy Elliott claiming the top spot with her 2001 mega hit, Get Your Freak On. Rolling Stone says everything vibrant and inventive and cool about 21st century pop is somewhere in that song. I'd have to agree.
There will be some arguments about that list for sure. Next, Cristiano Ronaldo's newest achievement.
The 40-year-old Portuguese legend is soccer's first billionaire with a B, that's according to Bloomberg. Ronaldo's net worth rising to new heights thanks to a reported tax-free $400 million contract in Saudi Arabia.
That'll do it.
Yep. Well, next, a reunion 44 years in the making.
An Ohio man recovers a long-lost memory. Raimo Kangas and his high school graduation ring are back together again. He lost it in Lake Erie in 1981. A local woman found it in August a few hundred yards away, where it just fell off of his finger.
Wow.
Wow. Finally, a record-setting pumpkin.
Yeah, take a look at this. Grown in England, weighs more than 2,800 pounds, 21 feet around. Both numbers are world records.
Be right back.
Back now and checking top stories, Israel and Hamas have agreed to the first phase of a ceasefire deal after 2 years of war in Gaza. All hostages are expected to be released by Monday in exchange for Palestinian prisoners. Israel agreed to partially pull back its forces, and humanitarian aid will now pour into Gaza.
9 days into the government shutdown, the IRS is furloughing nearly half of its workforce. Most IRS operations are closed due to the lapse in funding. About 40,000 agency employees will be retained to continue work on essential services.
A Connecticut woman accused of trying to poison her estranged husband returns to court today. Kristen Hogan faces attempted murder and other charges. Prosecutors say she put a chemical found in antifreeze in the man's wine.
Today's weather, a chilly morning in the Northeast, rain in Florida, and in the Southwest where remnants of tropical storm could cause flooding there.
Well, finally, learning how to frighten people this Halloween season.
Danny New takes us to Scare School.
Well, it's getting to be that time. When people stand in line and pay to be frightened by trained actors in makeup.
It's fun to be ugly and scary and bloody.
But before these thespians at the Erebus Haunted House in Pontiac, Michigan can become ugly, scary, and bloody, first they must train at what they call Scare School.
We just teach them how to scare safely, how to have fun while you're scaring, and the psychology of a scare.
It appears there are many disciplines to master when it comes to this scare-riculum. You've got to learn your terrifying screams, your desperate cries for help, and your creepy, "Hey, I'm walking here."
It's basically
a job that you get to see a different side of yourself that you didn't think you would see.
But once they graduate, there is a metric to grade their success. And it's not too far from the way they power the city with Screams and Monsters, Inc.
How scared do people get? You know what? We don't really count the tally number of how many people are going through. What we do count is the people that don't make it through.
Yes, as you can see here, the haunted house keeps a tally on how many quote-unquote wimps have to exit prematurely. And they even keep a total of their wetters, fainters, and spewers.
Welcome to the scariest talk show around.
And you know what? I've tried to do the whole zombie makeup scaring thing, and they mostly just laughed at me. Clearly, I did not go to scare school.
In fact, guys, the haunted house says last year they officially surpassed 10,000 wimps for the past 25 years they've been open. But just wait till I visit.
Whoa.
Yeah, speaking for both of us, hard pass for us.
Yeah,
Yep.
hard pass. I'd be one of those wimps.
Mm-hmm.
That's your GMA First Look.
Have a great day.